Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Roadrunners Unfiltered. It's your host, Darian Starling. UTSA travels up to Philadelphia to take on the Temple Owls as they kick off conference play. I'll give you guys my thoughts and my prediction on what to expect in this game. But before I do that, make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, check the link in the description for the Patreon, where there's additional content there as well. So my initial thoughts on this Temple game is that it is perfect timing that we're facing a team like this at this point in the season. We obviously had a rough start to the season with non-conference play, frankly playing to levels that I think that we are above. I think our standards have been higher than what we've put out, and I think we will be able to return to that against this Temple team because, folks, they're not very good. They're not very good. I'll just recommend that you guys go look at some of the highlights and film that they have online from some of their games earlier this season. I'm going to get into a little bit of that here in a second, but I also just want to touch on how important this is for UTSA because I think that's the real story here. I think the story is where UTSA is right now in this season, what we're up against, sort of being in this situation that Traylor, I don't know if he's been in this situation, with all these high expectations, with all these huge big players. We have NFL scouts coming to practices week in and week out, but we are sitting at 1-3, and we have not put a complete game together on both offense and defense. So I think right now, sometimes it's about something that's going to inject confidence into the team. And I think that we have that opportunity against Temple. If you look at last game against Tennessee, and you just look at some of the games we played, you've seen the heads drop when we get punched in the mouth too much, and it seems like we can't get back in the game and things like that. And I think sometimes when you lose and you are not meeting expectations, just being a player myself, I remember those times too. It is easy to get down on yourself. It's easy to lose confidence. And sometimes a bye week is perfect for recharging the minds, recharging health, recharging people's perspective on what the season can be, and also flushing what happened in non-conference and get ready for conference play because the ball and the game is just different during that particular time because you're playing teams that you've played before in the past. You're playing teams that you're going to be expected to win, and it's not going to be, we're fighting uphill against a Tennessee and things like that. The conference play is what's going to dictate if banners are going to be hung up at the end of the year. So there's a different level of intensity that comes with these games, and I think that part is important. So I think Temple is the perfect game for UTSA to start out with because of this. Folks, any offense with a pulse is able to put up a lot of numbers, a lot of points against them. Tulsa put up 48 points against them last week. Tulsa's not they're not 48 points good. They're good. They're okay, but they're not 48 points good. If you look at some of the stuff that Temple secondary has put on film, I gotta be honest. I'm out of shape, years removed from football, overweight, whatever you want to call it. I probably can suit up and play for Temple right now. Their secondary is just bad. I'm just keeping it a buck, calling a spade a spade. And I'm sure there's going to be some Temple fans that may see this and may throw a fit, but you can. What these guys have put on tape has not been anything that UTSA should worry about. And I think through the air, whoever's at quarterback should be able to expose this team quite a bit, and especially if it's Frank. It will be perfect if it's Frank and he's healthy and he's able to be the one that goes in against this team and really start to put some momentum together. We need a big blowout victory. We need to go in and put up 40-something points and then have our defense hold them to under 2 touchdowns. Yeah, we need that. We need something like that. That is the perfect thing. Here's the thing about a team like UTSA with all the talent we have. All we need is one. We couldn't build momentum off that Texas State game because I think that we expected to beat them better than what we did. And because that game was kind of a back and forth rock'em sock'em defensive, turned out to be a defensive game, it's hard to draw a ton of confidence coming from that. Yes, you win that I-35 rivalry, but did we put out the type of performance that you could build upon coming from that game? And considering the injuries that we had coming out of that game as well. It was hard to build momentum coming out of that. This is the perfect game to build that momentum and to really start to build something coming into this season. The whole bit about us being 0-0, that's the truth. We are 0-0 in conference play. Let's go now. It's time to capitalize on this opponent at this particular time. Couldn't be a better time. Could not be a better time. And if you just take a second and just view UTSA's schedule after Temple, it's perfect. We'll have UAB next, which is not going to be an easy game, but UAB, because they're always going to play us hard. UAB's not doing great either. They're 1-4 at the time at right now. So let's imagine us go out and blowing out Temple, blowing out UAB, and I don't care what UAB has put on tape thus far. They always come out and play us hard. They always come out and play us well. So it's not a game that I'm looking at and, just because they're 1-4, think that, oh yeah, if we bag this Temple game, we're for sure going to beat UAB. Can't say that. But what I can say is they didn't get off to a great start either. So if we get some momentum from Temple, could you imagine us or UAB coming to us, coming to the Dome, coming to our home? That crowd is rocking. Everybody's supporting the team. And just to start having this snowball effect of, we take UAB scalp, and then we're on to some of the tougher teams after that. So, I am happy at the way we're scheduled right now. I think that's going to give us an opportunity to really, really turn this season around. I truly believe that. So, in terms of what I predict for the game, guys, they have a spread offense. They're not great. The quarterback telegraphs his passes pretty badly. We should be able to take away the ball quite a bit this game. He also will throw the ball up there a little bit and allow his receivers to make a play, and they're not great at doing that. Their running back will fumble the ball. Yeah, they're just not really a good team. And listen, to be fair, Temple folks who are watching this can say, you know what, UTSA is not a great team either. They hadn't stopped anybody in the last 2 weeks. They can't put up points consistently. They have a quarterback crisis. They have a running back that was, has all these accolades, but he's fumbled the ball a couple of times. They could come in and pick at us too. They could say one of our best receivers hasn't played a game, hasn't played yet. There's a lot of things that you can look at our team and pinpoint and say that these are reasons we could struggle, and they're very valid. But I trust Coach Traylor. I trust Frank Harris. I trust that the talent that we have. I trust those seniors that we have on that team. We got a lot of older guys on that team who have not put out some of the performances that they probably would want to put out. I trust those guys. I back those guys. And I think that we have an opportunity these guys have an opportunity to inject more life into this season, and I just don't see them passing that opportunity up. And here's another thing. Though we have extreme talent on this team, we can't say that for some of these other teams who are having some of these issues. They just don't have the talent. We have the talent. We have the talent to run tables and run a table in the conference, 100%. We have the talent to do so. But we have to put everything together. That means coordinators got to play call properly, all that type of stuff. Because we got new people in different positions, and we're seeing some growing pains, which is fine. That's what non-conference play is for. But now it's time to put the pieces together. We have this team this week in Temple that is a team that we are 100% more talented than, and it's a team that we should go up into their house and smack them up. 100%. And I think that is not going to be the sole thing that injects life into our conference run to this year. But it's a good first step and a good move for us to take advantage of. So if we just can continue to build off of this, it can be the first step of something special. But we must come in and not eke out a victory. We need to come in and smack this team around and polish them off by 30-plus points. So my prediction for this game is going to sound crazy because we haven't even looked like a team that can do this. But I'm going to go UTSA 45, Temple 14. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. So we'll see what happens. That's my prediction. We should dominate this team. We should dominate this game. If we're going to have a real successful season and put ourselves in a position to hang another banner, it starts this weekend.